Hello friends, Kid Charming here. So today I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on mine and my wife's relationship. Mostly how we met and how that went. As you guys probably know, I speak of my wife in reverence because she is the best thing that has ever happened to me. She is my absolute best friend, and I can't imagine, nor do I want to imagine, my life without her. The way we met is actually more common now than it used to be. We met online. A lot of people don't have as great a luck as Lena and I did meeting online. Though, to be fair, my dad met his wife online and my mom met her new husband. So my parents met my stepmom and my stepdad online. They seem pretty happy. But we met online, and only in recent years have I become a little more outgoing. So basically I'd put my profile out there and then I never contacted anybody. Because I was scared. I'm not really good at making those kind of moves. So she had contacted me. There was another girl in PEI that had contacted me as well, but I figured that was too long, like too far away to deal with when there was someone here that, was talking to me. So we talked from December to March. 3 months, never seen each other. And only in I think it was late February, did I actually start text messaging her instead of messaging her on an app for this dating site. And now I will let you know that this dating site that I was on, there was a lot of crazies on there. Like, I had heard horror stories about it, and if I mention it to anybody, they're like, really? That's where you met your wife? Like, she's so nice, and she's like, you guys are so good together. And like, I know we were one of those miracles that happened, I guess, from that dating site. So her parents, I don't even think know that that's how we met. A lot of people don't, actually. My mom does. I've told my mom, but my friend Danny was the one who started pushing me to just get her phone number and text her like a real person does. So my friend Danny pushed me to do that, and I did. And then he pushed me to meet her. He's like, dude, it has been like 3 months. You've been talking to this woman for 3 months and you've never seen her face in person? And I was like, no, I haven't. I'm scared. He's like, I know you're scared, but you got to do it, or it's never going to go anywhere if you don't actually take that step and meet her. So I did. I messaged her, and I said, maybe we should meet up. So we met at where I was living, at a Tim Hortons there. And I remember that day I was so nervous. I was wearing a purple and white plaid button-up shirt. My hair was really shaggy at the time. I remember that I was going to be late, and I had to take a shower though because I couldn't smell bad, because like, I'm meeting this girl that I had gotten to know so well over the last 3 months. Like, we talked every day. I texted her every day. Like, we talked a lot. There were so many messages back and forth. And there was a time where I had my doubts and I had stopped text messaging her completely because I wasn't going to go any further with it. And my buddy Danny said, dude, what is wrong with you? And I said, well, what if this? And he's like, but what if not? What if she's cool? What if she's actually like a great person to be around? What if she's the one and you let her go? I said, okay. So I text messaged her, and I kind of just ignored the fact that I hadn't talked to her in 5 days after talking to her like every day. She didn't realize that I had stopped talking to her because there was some stuff going down in her life that was way more important than me, and it really was. It really was. A family member was not in a good place at that point, and she thought that she was going to lose him. So I thank God that she didn't call me out on it. She didn't even notice, which is great. At first I took offense to that, but at the same time I was like, dude, like someone almost died. Like I can't really be mad about that at all. And so it was March and I was sweaty. My hair was all shaggy, and I remember how my heart was beating so fast. And I brought my buddy Danny with me because I was like, what if she doesn't like me? What if we are cool online, but once she actually meets me, it's she doesn't like me? What, like, I'm really shy. Like, what if, like, I was shy-ish while I was talking to her, but I was a little bit more outgoing, and but like face to face with people, that changes for me. So what if she doesn't like me? What if my profile picture was too deceiving? Like, what? He's like, dude, calm down. I'll be there with you. I even texted Lena and said, is it cool if one of my buddies comes with me? She was like, yes. And later on she told me, I wish you would have told me that sooner and I would have brought Ashley with me. And I was like, I'm sorry. But it was a last minute thing. I was really nervous and Danny was there, and I couldn't do it by myself or we would have had a really bad time. She's like, I don't think we would have, but okay. So we go in and I see her there and my heart just stops and I'm like, there she is. That's the one. Danny's like, which one is she? Which one is she? I'm like, the one in the blue, the one in the blue. She's wearing a blue jacket. She still has that blue jacket too. And I was like, the one in the blue, the one in the blue sitting right there. And he's like, we'll go over. Let's go over. And I'm like, okay. So I go over. And that's when the memory stops, I guess, in my mind. Like, I remember sitting there in front of her and just being in awe of what was happening. And I don't know what was going on in her mind because she has the strongest RBF I have ever seen. For those of you who don't know what RBF is, it's resting bish face. Just saying. It is strong. It is very strong. So strong that later on, a few months down the road, when I asked her, because it's so strong, like no emotion goes through her face sometimes. And I was like, I don't know how this chick even feels about me. Like, I don't know if this is going anywhere. It's been like 4 or 5 months of talking, and it's been like 3 months of talking, and I've been meeting up with her for the last 2 months. Like, I don't even know how she feels about me. So I asked. I said, so how are you feeling about me here? Like, just straight up, I'm like, so, we've gotten to know each other a little bit better and we've seen each other. And so what do you think of me? How are you feeling about me? And that's when she said, is it too early to say that I love you? And I about lost my mind, because the night before, when she had left my apartment, she was down by her car and I was up on my balcony with Danny, and I was, see you later. I almost said, love you, see you, bye. I almost said that, but I had stopped myself. I was like, see you later. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then I looked over at Danny after she left and I was like, Danny. And he's like, what, dude? I was like, I almost said I love you. He's like, dude, really? I was like, yeah, but I stopped myself. He's like, do you think it's a little early? I'm like, I don't feel like early is a thing when it comes to feeling that you love somebody. And that's exactly what I told her. I said, if you actually feel it, if this is something that you actually feel deep inside and you know it's true, then no. I don't think it's ever too early to say I love you if you actually feel it. You're not caught up in a moment or anything like that. We'd been around each other and talking, like we had gotten to know each other so well before we even met. I knew that she didn't have a favorite color. She just really liked bright neon colors. I knew that Tinkerbell was exactly like the big thing for her, like Superman was for me. I knew that her grandfather was one of the most important people in her life. I knew that she was going to school and that she wanted to go into something where she was going to help some people. I knew so much about her, and I had never actually seen her face to face. I think that helped, really, to be honest, is to be able to know somebody like that before even actually meeting them is a big thing. I knew that she'd been hurt before, and I knew that her parents didn't know that she was even into girls. But yeah, she told me that she loved me, and it was great. And this is already after talks of like, hey, I want you to meet my family. I'm like, okay. Like this is, like it all kind of happened at the same time-ish. And she's like, I want you to meet my family for Easter. And I'm like, okay. So Easter's like right around the corner at this point. And I'm like, okay, but like, what are you going to introduce me as? And she's like, well, I'm hoping that I can introduce you to them as my girlfriend. And I was like, okay. It was all over text message, of course, because we're losers that way, I guess. And when I was there, like, she had just told them the day before that she was into girls. And I'm like, you did what? She's like, yeah, I just told them. I'm like, your grandparents are going to be there. Do they know? She goes, yeah, I just told them to. I'm like, holy crap. So they just found out that their daughter and their granddaughter daughter is a lesbian, and they get to meet the girlfriend. She's like, I don't understand who they thought I was spending the night at in, like, where you are all the time. Anyway, it was magnificent. It wasn't one of those like whirlwind romances that you see on TV. But it was still cute. It was still cute. And every time I think about it, I get a little choked up inside because it was beautiful in its simplicity. I mean, whirlwind romances, do they really last? Like, when you see happily ever after in a movie, it's not a happily ever after in the long run. It's a happily ever beginning, because you don't know how that relationship turns out unless there's a sequel. But then you still don't know if they stay together their entire lives. Me and Lena have been married for 3 years. And coming this December, we'd be dating for we've been together, I should say, for 6. Now, some people are like, well, you weren't actually dating or whatever. I'm like, nah, dude, we were dating. When we found each other, when she found me on that website, there was no intent of being just friends with one another. That was never on the table. That was never even thought about. That was it. We were there for a reason, and that was to find somebody to hopefully eventually spend the rest of our lives with. And that is what we found. So yes, December is we usually go by like December 15th is our anniversary when it comes to being together. But it was beautiful. And I'm a simple person. Not really. Like in most things I'm simple. Not in the head. I know if my sister listens to this, she'd be like, oh, you're simple. Where's your helmet? Love you too, Shyla. But like, in my needs in life, they are very simple. Food, wife, house, dog, basically. That's all I need. If I'm fed, if I have my wife with me, if I have my dog with me and a place to live, I don't care what else is going on. I mean, I want to be able to support them too with a job, so I guess that, but I think those are just basic needs for people. That's the only thing I need in my life. That's the only thing I'd ever really need. I don't need fancy things. I don't really need them. I want them, but I don't need them. I'm pretty simple in that, and I know the difference of wanting and needing, and it's I don't know, just a beautiful, simple story, but it is my life. It is what I went through, and there was some touch and go in there while we were dating and whatnot, and I moved in that July. Now, some people would say, isn't that a little soon? Not really, because if you go December to January, January to February, February to March, March to April, April to May, May to June, June to July, it was like 7 months. Which doesn't seem like a long time for most people, but I don't know. The term U-Haul lesbian comes to mind, but just so you know, that's not always a thing, but I think that women, we get our feelings out there really quick, so therefore we know if it's a match or not, though, of course, having all those feelings in a relationship can usually complicate things as well, but we're fine. We did great. We're still together. It's been almost 6 years, and wow, it's been almost 6 years. You'd think she'd get tired of me by then. Apparently not. Apparently not. I'd never tire of her. She takes really good care of me. She knows when I need stuff. Like, if I've been eating or drinking the same thing a lot, she makes sure that she changes it up when she does, like if she goes out and gets groceries without me, because she knows I'll get sick and tired of it and I'll never want to eat it again. I get fixated on things. I got fixated on her. I never got tired of her, so there you go. She also keeps things interesting for me, because she knows that I'm easily distracted and easily I get bored of things easy. I would never get bored of her, but she keeps things interesting just in case. Like the other day, she was like, I have a deal for you. And I was like, okay. She's like, if you help me stack the wood, I'm like, yeah. I'll make you steak. Not what I was hoping, but second best. Love it. I really like steak, and she knows that I really like steak, and we have not had a lot of steak. Like, we didn't have a lot of steak over the summer, so she knows exactly how to get me. Sometimes she's like, all right, I need your help with something. I'm like, she goes, I'll let you use the saw. And I'm like, yay, power tools. So she knows how I tick, which is good, because sometimes even I don't know how I tick. But she's got me. She knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly how I work, and I enjoy that so that I don't have to explain it. Though I did have to explain that I am a person who takes affection in a physical form. Don't take that the wrong way. What I mean is, if I'm upset, I need hugs or kisses or to be held or something. If you want to show me you love me, show me physical affection, give me a hug, give me, or a kiss or something. Like, that's how I am. I receive affection with physical acts. I'm a very huggy person. I love to hug. I'm actually really good at hugging. If hugging was an Olympic sport, I'd win. I'd win gold every time. I'd win gold, silver, and bronze. No one would be able to compete with me. I would only be able to compete with myself, because I am a really good hugger. I know not to be too limp, because then you feel like you don't really want that person around kind of feeling, but not too hard that you're squeezing the life out of them. It's just enough for them to feel secure and safe without it being constrictive or too loose, like you're afraid of actually putting any pressure on there. You gotta have a little bit of pressure, just not too much. Like a firm handshake, like a good, firm handshake, but in hug form. That's the best way I can describe it. That is the perfect hug. And I'm really good at that. She, on the other hand, when she's upset, don't go near her. If you're fighting, stay away from her. Don't try to touch her. Let her be, let her cool down and walk away. I'm not that type of person. That bothers me, but I had to learn for her. I take for granted the fact that I've always been around or been with people that, want to duke it out and then they're done and they go on with their lives. Well, she needs time. She needs time to just chill out and breathe. Well, I just want to get it done and over with so that we're fine and that's it. And we have a safe place where we're not allowed to fight so that she knows if she's in there, no fighting's going to happen. Like, we're not going to have an argument. Not that we argue too much, but we do argue. We do have fights. Because if we didn't, then someone's not being honest. Because you cannot agree on everything. But yeah, I think that's going to do for today. It's been 21 minutes. Wow. See, I told you when it comes to my wife, I can talk forever because I just love that woman so much. She means the world to me. Find that person. Whether it's online, in person, does not matter. Find that person. Am I happy 100% of the time? Absolutely not. That's crazy. Why would I be that? That's something that is fairy tale like. Life's not a fairy tale, guys. Her and I fight. I've made her cry on multiple occasions. She's made me cry on multiple occasions, but we love each other because we've learned from those arguments a little more about each other, and that's the point. You got to be honest with one another, and when you're honest with someone, and I don't mean brutally honest where you're just being a dick to somebody, but like be honest, say, hey, look, when you did that, that made me unhappy. It made me sad because of this. Could you not do that again? But in a way that an adult would speak to another adult. Don't be a dick about it. Be like, hey, why'd you do that? That's stupid because it made me feel this way, so don't ever do it again. Don't do that. Be like, hey, look, when you said that to me, the way you said it, maybe not what you said, but the way you said it to me was not cool. Like, it made me feel very degraded emotionally. It made me feel small, and I don't like that. I don't like when that happens. Like, we're in a relationship, we shouldn't be making each other feel that way on purpose or anything. And if it was on purpose, then why? And did I do something to make you retaliate in such a way? Let's figure it out together. That normally happens after the screaming, though. But I mean, there's factors in everything. Like, you can't really find a lot of people out there that don't have a mental health issue. I have ADHD and anxiety. My wife has other disorders that make it difficult to have those conversations because I can make split-second decisions and she has a different disorder that makes her make split-second decisions and assumptions on things. And that is more difficult to deal with, but because we know about each other's disorder, we've actually researched each other's disorder to get to know what to look for and how to react in these situations, that we understand that sometimes what each other is saying isn't exactly what we mean. So that's another thing, like, get to know the person. Like, Lena laid it flat out to me. She goes, this is what's gone on with my life. If you don't like it, I don't want to continue this. Like, if you cannot deal with this, then we just need to stop now. I remember the day that she laid it out to me, like flat out to me, like in a defensive way, like she was trying to protect herself. And I understand why, because she had people find this stuff out and then be like, I'm out, too much for me, can't deal with that, peace, bye. Like, she's had people do that to her in the past, and I didn't want to be one of those people because you know what? We all have our issues. And I didn't want to hurt this beautiful person that, like, I got to know. And it hurt me to find out that someone had done that to her. I mean, I kind of thank them because that gave me the chance. But at the same time, like, I don't like the fact that she got hurt. But I remember we were driving in her car and we were listening to the radio or whatever and just talking a little bit. And she turned the radio down. She goes, okay, like, you need to know this, and this about me. And if you can't handle that, then like, I don't want to take this any further because this is who I am. And it was very defensive in the way that she was bringing it out to me. And I understood why. And I looked at her and I said, it's going to take a lot more than that to scare me off. Like a lot more than that to scare me off. And I remember she just kind of like, she was defensive and she had like a stiff way about her when she had said, hey, look, this is what it is to be with me. If you can't deal with that, then we might as well just end this now. And I just looked at her and I was like, you know what? No, like, that's fine. I'm like, I have my own baggage too that I got to deal with, that I thought I dealt with, but didn't apparently. And like, I can't look at you and say, oh, that's too much for me, when there's stuff with me that you're going to have to deal with. Like, that's not going to go away. Like, my ADHD is not going to go away. My anxiety is not going to go away. These things stay with you and you deal with them for like the rest of your life. I said, it's going to take a lot more than that to scare me off. It's like, the only way you're going to scare me off is if you cheat on me, and I don't see that happening. And I just saw her kind of just relax at that point, as if to say, okay, then I can do this. I can be with this person. And it hurt to know that she was so defensive about it because someone had hurt her in the past, but at the same time, it felt good to be able to be that relief for her. Yeah. That's going to do. I'm not going to record anymore when I get home. It's been it'll be about 27 minutes by the time this is over. So, plus if you do the intro as well, it's going to be well over 27 minutes. So, thank you guys for listening. Again, I could talk about my wife even more after that, but I just wanted to give you a little insight of what it was like when I first met my wife, or first started talking to my wife. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Kid Charming out.